All right, hope everybody's having a good Sunday. So yesterday, I've been using my 1980 E100 sort of as a vehicle to do mock-up on, because the way the EFI intake manifold is on the 88, it's really hard to get measurements, and since my 80's the same thing and carbureted, you can actually get in there to measure some things. And I have run into a few snags, but I have solutions for them. So first off, this intake manifold is roughly right at 9¼ inches from flange to the furthest point. The factory intake is 7¼ so right after the midpoint of the secondary is about where it ends. So the issue I have is the body of the van itself is just a hair over 10 inches away. So I have 1 inch, which is plenty. That's fine. But I got one problem. Let's see. My garage, I got just junk laying around out here. Excuse the mess. So we're going to stick this holly up here. As you can see, with a holly, the actual bowl will be on a kneecap on the passenger. It will go through the body. That's not going to work. So, thoughts. The issue with the dual port manifold is it's designed for the primaries to be here and the secondaries to be here. In that video I did about it, I explained how it all works. But a large 2-barrel in the middle here would fix all my clearance issues. But yeah, completely divided plenum. So yeah, that's not going to work. And yeah, I guess you could put an adapter on it, but it's going to flow like absolute dog shit. So this is what I'm doing officially. I'm getting a carburetor for mock-up. I am sending this intake manifold to a porting company up in Illinois, Big Dogs Porting. They do really good work. I've been kind of keeping up with their stuff, and what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and mill this entire plenum out, open it completely up, all the way around. We're going to mill it across and make it flush on the floor of this higher plenum. Go across, probably roll that edge over, and this plenum goes a little lower, so we're just going to open this thing completely up. And I might even see if they'll flow bench it before and after just to see what we gain. Open all that up, and then come through here and port and polish some of these rough ports, some of the roughness out of these ports rather. And we're going to open this plenum completely up, maximize the runners the best we can, maybe flow bench it before and after and see what we can make this thing do. Pretty much make this archaic kind of bad intake manifold as good as it can possibly be, see where we end up. And then I'm going to get on Speedway. They sell a lot of the round track stuff. They make a 2-barrel adapter for a 4150 flange that I really like. It's thick CNC aluminum, and it mounts the carburetor dead center. Will be dead center over the open plenum, but on the bottom, instead of it just being a hole like this, it's actually contoured for airflow, kind of smooth things out so it doesn't have any turbulence. And on top of this, I'm going to have a guy that's built carburetors for me in the past. He built a absolutely gorgeous 4100 for me. I'm a big Autolite carburetor guy, if you haven't noticed. He is going to build me a Autolite 2100. That's Ed at Ed's Carburetors up in Illinois. Seems like all the good guys are up in Illinois. But this intake manifold, plenum completely milled out of it. ports, whatever they're going to do to that, and to make this thing flow really well. This is going to be a significant increase in power potential anyway, especially with a ported head and bulwark and all that stuff. It will probably run quite well, and a lot of people are going to ask why an auto light and not a Holley as far as the two barrel goes. Annular discharge boosters. It's a heavy vehicle. I'm trying to make good torque with it, and torque is even better when it has good throttle response. Annular discharge boosters in an auto light make things a lot crisper, a lot more responsive, and that goes a long way on a big heavy vehicle, especially when you're trying to chisel away at a very dismal 60-foot time. But stay tuned. I'm going to start getting all the footwork done on that, and that's going to be a really neat project. I'll be doing a whole series just on this intake manifold before and after, and because I don't really think anyone's really done anything like I'm going to do to this one. I know some people have modified some parts and used spacers and cut out some, but this one's, I don't think anyone's put this much work into one of these. Most people would say just go buy a Type C. I just kind of want to see what I can make this intake manifold do. We'll see. As good as I like taking something that's not that great and making it as good as it can be. Because for me, it's kind of fun. I'm a curious guy. I just like to see what will happen if. And but yeah, this ought to be pretty good. So y'all stay tuned for that, and we'll see what we can do with it. Y'all take it easy.